Hey everyone, Angie here from The Manifesting Ram, coming to you with my second video on my channel. Thanks to everyone who clicked on my first video that I put up. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and thanks to everyone who found me on Instagram and started following me. Really appreciate all the support, and really appreciate having you guys here, just being witness to you know, hopefully really good journey that I'm sort of taking on. The last video that I put up, so the first ever video that I put up, was probably now about a week ago. I put that video up, and a lot has happened in the week. So I mean, I'll just get right into it. So again, if you'd seen the last video that I put up, I said I was going to do the two things, just starting off. One was using the words I am and then a positive affirmation, and secondly was a video that I'd also linked in my last in the last video that I put up, and it's just like a little meditation trick, so to speak, and I've been doing that maybe 2-3 times a week, and I have to say it's been a good run so far. Yeah, so a lot has happened in the last week. First and foremost, obviously you guys don't know, but I just recently changed jobs, and I was currently on probation at my new job, and they very kindly told me on Friday actually that they were really happy with me, and they wanted to keep me on. And so my probation period has actually ended prematurely. So that was really good. And so it's good. I'm really excited. It's a really positive sort of outcome so far. At the same time, you know, I was struck with a little bit of anxiety. There was a little bit of fear there. I mean, so far. Again, as I mentioned in my previous video, I've gone through about 3 career changes. This is a role in projects, and it's an area I really want to get into, but at the same time, I don't really have much experience. I don't have any qualification in that area, and so for me, it's very much sort of hitting the ground running, and so there is a little bit of, you know, anxiety and fear because there is a lot of responsibility involved in the role. And also it's still early days for me. It's only been it's my 3rd week actually, and so still sort of deciding if this is the place I want to be and this is what I want to do. So, you know, there's a bit of you know, but it's still a bit of uncertainty or whatever it is, but I sort of bring that down to me being new and still sort of getting to know the place and that sort of thing. But yes, that was one sort of positive thing that sort of happened as of late. Secondly, again, if you guys have watched my first video that I put up, I told you guys that me and my boyfriend were not fitting, and things weren't going that great with us. And I was sort of reflecting on it, and it was only when I kind of cleared my mind and I really thought about it, these meditation techniques from that previous video, I came to realize that we hadn't been gelling for a while. It's been a long while, and awkwardness, we're not on the same page emotionally, socially, you know, all the things that matter. Connection wise, there's a bit of a disconnection or a detach there, and what I needed to do, and I think I knew it for a long time, but I just never had the strength or the energy to do it, was to just say, look, I need to take some space and really decide whether I want to continue with this or not. Well, again, fast forward to Friday, which is 2 days ago. I finally had that difficult conversation with him, and I told him that, you know, there's a lot going on right now for me, and I need to determine whether you know, I want to stick this out. It was a very emotional conversation. It was very difficult. had to be done. Emotional on both sides, though I think I probably held up a little bit better in the emotional side of things because I'd sort of thought it out in my head. Part of it was telling him to cancel the 1-year plan that he had made, which was very difficult. It was. It's been about 2 days since, and to be honest with you, I haven't really gotten around to deciding just yet, or really sort of thinking about that and clearing my mind on that. So that's definitely something I think I'm going to be working in the next couple of weeks, is to just really get into that meditative state and manifest exactly where I want to go in my relationship and whether this relationship is right for me or this person is right for me. He is a great guy. He's a lovely person. He's got a beautiful heart, and there is absolutely no denying that. But in terms of is it the right fit for me? Are we kind of at the same stage in life? Are we sort of can we sort of follow this journey together? Is it a long-lasting thing? Completely different story, and that is completely separate of, you know, how a person is. And so for me, I guess a part of it clearing my mind is really deciding and really determining whether to continue or not. But I think getting into that mindset of I am strong. I mean, this is one of the manifestations I used to say. I've been constantly saying this week is I am strong. I am strong, and I think from saying that, it really did kind of give me the strength to sort of say, no, I need to have this conversation, and I need to do it today, as opposed to constantly sort of putting it off, because thinking I've always got time. So yeah, again, I suppose a positive outcome. It was a long time coming, this conversation and asking for space and really deciding and letting him know that, you know, I'm at a crossroads and I'm not sure if I want to continue or not. Number 3, I mentioned again in my previous video that there were a lot of issues with my friends, my friendship circle. And, you know, for me, it's bizarre, but the minute you say, I am strong, and another one that I used to say is, I am independent. The minute you say, I am strong, I am independent, and you really, really believe in the power of those words, it becomes very clear to you that your friends, you know, if they are not acting right, if they can't stand by you, and if they can't be as good a friend as you try to be to them, then you know what, close the book on that chapter, because it's close the chapter in that book, because it's just not worth it. The particular friends that I'm talking about, I've known since high school, so, you know, over 10 years now. And I mean, there have been time and time again where I've stood up for them, or I've, you know, gone out of my way to be a good friend, and I've been met with less than that sort of behavior back. I mean, I don't 100% blame them. They try to be very diplomatic about things, but ultimately, you know, you need to, you know, sometimes you need to pick a side. And being diplomatic can actually end up slapping someone in the face, and that's exactly what's happened to me in a situation with another high school friend of mine who has essentially, in a nutshell, decided to pick her boyfriend over her friends. There was a comment made by him regarding another friend of mine, which I stepped in on and sort of said, you know, this is unacceptable, to which I was then just absolutely pelted with completely unwarranted abuse, essentially. And rather than sort of have my friends have my back, like I did for my friend, it became a very like, oh, we have to be diplomatic about this, but it was a kind of a backhanded slap in the face, because I didn't feel that I got the same sort of consideration. And when I felt really bad about it. I felt really down. I thought, you know, that's really disrespectful. I kind of expected the same kind of thing back. But then when I really thought about the words, I am independent, it became very easy for me to sort of remove myself from that and go, you know what, I've known you for however long, it doesn't matter. If I'm not being treated the right way, then I am independent. I can be on my own and I will be just fine and I will survive because I am strong. And so in that regard, you know, I've really taken a step back in that area as well. And it's really cleared my mind because you kind of then begin to realize how much you actually matter to people and if they're friends or not. And one of the really great things is that the minute that I became distant, they picked up on it straight away, and one friend is constantly messaging and calling and making sure I'm okay and wanting to catch up, and she's absolutely lovely. The other one's also always messaging, making sure I'm okay, wanting updates on my life and that sort of thing. And the other one also, you know, is keeping in touch. So it's a sad thing when it comes to my last two friends, but you know, you live and you learn, and you know what you deserve, and you really learn who your friends are. So I guess there's a lot of clarity and there's a lot of peace in that regard, because now I know kind of where I stand, and I know that, you know, if things don't work out, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I can always go out there and make new friends. I know for a lot of you watching the video, you're probably just thinking, yeah, this is come on, this is obvious. But in the real midst of it, you'll be surprised how difficult it is, especially when you've been friends with someone or friends with people for, you know, more than half your life. Situation at home has also gotten, I think, a lot better as well. My mother actually went interstate for a week, and one of the things she said to me was, you know, when I'm gone, you have some quiet and peace. Just sit down and write down all the things that you've wanted to achieve up until now, all the dreams, all the ambitions, all the passions that you've had, and really determine out of everything that you've written down, what have you achieved, what haven't you achieved, you know, where is it that you want to go. You know, obviously over time your ambitions change. And you know what, I actually would really recommend this for you guys as well. This could be, you can almost consider this another technique, is to just write a list of all the things from, you know, the age of 5 to whatever age you're at now, and really write down what are the ambitions, what are the passions, where did you expect to be at the age that you are. And obviously you keep in mind that, you know, your dreams change and your perception changes with age and with time. But the main thing is, like, are you happy where you are? Are you happy in terms of what you want to do career-wise or in your life or whatever it is? Are you where you intended to be, or along the way where you've changed, has it all sort of added up to where you are? And if not, what is it that you wanted to achieve that you still haven't? One of the things, for example, I had written down was when I was about 18, 19, I always wanted to write a book. I wanted to be an author of a book. It didn't have to, not that I professionally wanted to be a writer or an author or anything like that, but I wanted to write a book and have something published. And I realised I hadn't done that yet. And so that's definitely on my list now of something that I want to do, is publish a book. And hopefully people will read them. But yeah, so, you know, there's that sort of thing. Another thing was that, you know, I expected within the next sort of 2-3 years trajectory to be in a very senior role in my career. And it just really reinforced that, because I was so sort of confused where I wanted to go career-wise and that sort of thing. And so this sort of, again, sort of puts things in perspective a little bit, that, you know, I do want to be in a senior role. So sort of determining where I wanted to go and what I want to specialise in and being in a senior role. So again, it's kind of got the clock ticking a little bit. It's got me thinking in terms of how to go about it, but it's also given me an idea of exactly what to ask the universe. And you know, again, it's going to be very general, but it's going to be something general, like, you know, something that I can excel in a senior role and that sort of thing. But like I said, when we kind of get to that, when we get to that stage, again, I'll make a video about it. I'll let you guys know how it goes. But yeah, in the meantime, I would really recommend you guys get down like a a list of whatever you wanted to achieve, and determine whether you have achieved what you wanted to and what you haven't, and how you can go about doing that. And it's still something you want to achieve, and that sort of thing. And it really really gets you back on perspective. I mean, another thing I had written down was that I wanted to start something where I could help others or be of assistance to others. And it was really interesting when I was writing it down, where I thought about this channel, for example. I mean, I don't know how many people it's going to help. I don't know if it's going to help at all, but just that feeling of being able to share my story, share my journey with you guys, and hopefully have it help you, I think is enough of a motivation for me. So, yeah, that's really great. And as a result, I think, I mean, things haven't been horrible or anything at home as of late, but it hasn't, you know, it hasn't been majorly wonderful either, but it's just sort of settled down a little bit. Another thing that sort of came up was this, you know, I was just sort of, you know, something that I'd sort of been thinking about, was this whole independent thing of potentially moving out of home and living on my own, which I hear is very good in terms of independence. And again, like I said, one of the things I've been saying this week is I am independent. And again, believe it or not, on the Friday I got a phone call from you know, a job, for a job, and I had, you know, applied for this job 2-3 months ago and completely forgot about. The role is in a different state, and you know, they'd want me to sort of start by the end of the year. Obviously I'm still not sure about my current job and that sort of thing, but you know, it was very it was nice to sort of be considered for a role and getting the call. But that would also mean that I would get the chance to live on my own and be independent. And in a strange way, it kind of struck me that, you know, it's really interesting. I've been doing these affirmations for a week, and out of nowhere I get this phone call saying, you know, there's a potential job for you in Sydney, and we'd want you to start before the end of the year. And, you know, I'd have a chance to be on my own and live on my own and be independent, when, you know, up until this point I kept saying I am independent. So it's a little bit interesting. I would like to think my affirmations had something to do with it, but, you know, who knows. I'm just, again, it's my first week. I'm just going with it, and so far things have been getting better. And I think since I had that conversation with my parents where I said, you know, there's a job, like a potential job in Sydney, I could be moving there on my own. I think it's really flipped a switch or something like that, because they've, like I said, they haven't been completely, you know, wonderful and chilled out or whatever it was, but it's chilled out a lot, and I'm not getting as much, you know, crap for being out too late. I know, believe it or not, I'm an adult child and I'm still getting told off for staying out late, whatever it is. So, you know, that being a very, you know, plausible possibility, I think they realise that, you know, once I'm out of the house, there's that independence, and it's very unlikely that I would actually come back after that. So, again, I don't know if this is a sign, but I'm someone, like I said, I'm very open to trying these techniques, and I'm very open to seeing how things go. And so, you know, if I do get a call for an interview, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated on this, but if I do get the call and I go for the interview and everything goes well, and, you know, hand on heart, I get the job, and I feel like it would be a good move, then, you know, maybe this is the universe's way of telling me where to go next. I really don't know. But in the meantime, you know, it's gotten, I mean, a lot has happened, and it's gotten a lot better in terms of, in some regards, in terms of clarity. I think in the next sort of week or so, I'm really going to work on asking the universe for a bit more direction when it comes to sort of where I'm going with my relationship. Do I end it? Do I not? I think it's not necessarily something I can ask the universe to give me an answer to, but it more sort of to ask like give me some sort of direction on where I'm going, and am I making the right decision by, you know, saying yes or saying no. And so it's just a question I'm going to ask the universe, and I'm really hoping I get some kind of response or something. Again, I'm not 100% sure if this is how it works or not, but, you know, if you guys have any tips, or if there's something I'm doing wrong, or if you think I need to tweak something in the way that I'm going about asking for things, please definitely leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. Please, any comments, any questions, anything like that at all. I'll try to be as honest and as open as I can with you guys. So yeah, that was a quick sort of recap of my week, and so I think in the next week is really just determining where I'm going in the job sort of side of things, and with the boyfriend, where I'm going in that. I'm really hoping things start to get even better at home with my parents, and I'm really hoping again with work and things like that everything's going to sort of, I'm going to start getting a bit more direction and a bit more clarity on what the decision is that I need to make. So like I said, I'll be making a video real soon, and I'll keep you updated again on what's sort of happening in my life, and any sort of new thoughts or concepts that's come up since manifesting. In the meantime, I'm also going to look at some new material on trying to manifest money at some point. I think I might do that in the next week or two, just to sort of start looking, see how I can start to sort of put that into practice, and I'll definitely pop up another video on that. I think I might let you guys, maybe I'll do a video before I start, so you guys know that I've actually started on the manifesting side of that, and then I'll give you an update after that of a couple of days, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said in my first video, I'm not sure about timelines, and I'm not sure about exactly what's going to happen. Like I told you, I didn't expect all this to happen in a week, so it's really great, and yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that in the next week I'll have a bit more clarity on things, and I can again come back to you guys with a really good update on how things are progressing. I think that's all really on my side. I will, like I said, let you guys know how things are going, and yeah, again, please leave any comments or questions or anything you guys want to say, good or bad. Always open to hearing everyone out, and yeah, follow me on Instagram as well if you want updates on when a new videos come up, or just, you know, just general sort of quotes and things like that I have up, and yeah, I think in the meantime I will just keep along my journey, and I will keep you guys posted. Alright,